Welcome to another episode of Saint Vincent Untold Stories. On this episode, we look at the Lassa volcano in Saint Vincent and the issues affecting the evacuees right now. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon if you wish to see more videos like this one. The Lassa volcano is still in a state of unrest. The PM is saying that they are going to get a helicopter ready to provide that for Dr. Stinton for him to carry up the equipments up by the summit and so forth. Those equipments should have already been in place before he told the persons to return. Big problems are going on over the river right now. Some people want to return home and some don't want to. You see, from a business perspective, if you was doing business over the river and making a good income, you would not want to relocate. For example, the vans and the dance halls. Then we have to look at that they were affected even before the volcanic eruption with the big C. So it's like we can't say nobody was surviving properly from business in that area. Just imagine going back to places like Rosebank, Rose Hall, Georgetown, especially if you are a farmer going back to no source of income, livestock long gone, agricultural produce no more. Many times we have to sit and wonder who is the big man's advisor, sending people home back with zero. What you want them to do? Break people homes? You want them to steal? There are evacuees who Nemo called on several occasions and they never brought anything to these evacuees. And I have proof of that, so they can't say that Untold Stories is lying on them. They call and they ask you a bag of questions. How do you stand with food? Would you be able to receive monies from this and that? Up to now, nothing. I told you before, they don't care because they know where their cheese square meals are coming from. Plus, they are already playing party cards with these donations because I know of several persons working with the government in the private homes have received boxes upon boxes when there are some persons who did not receive anything at all. There are some persons in the green zones who are saying, why are persons waiting on the government to clean up their roads and their homes? But let me tell you something. You have seen our videos. We have been out there doing it voluntarily. So we are not just talking, you know. We are not like the big man just driving around and watching. We do the work. We put in hard work. Those kind of cleanings that we normally do. You think an 85-year-old, a 75-year-old, a young child could do those cleanings? The amount of millions that came into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Government could pay people to clean the places. Boots leaking is one of the major problems that we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Why the country is stagnant and not going forward. If you haven't been in the red zones to do any cleanings, you can't say anything. You can't pass any remarks. By the time you clean this house and that one, dust come off of the road again and blows right back into that house. Government should have done a major cleanup before sending anyone back into the orange and the red zone. Because the way the cleaning is being done, it is causing a major problem. Imagine you just cleaned your house and your neighbor begins to sweep. And the dust just fly back on your house. You often heard us saying, once you have an education and a skill, no one can take that away. But you also need common sense. You'd have some persons in St. Vincent who are well off in their nice, comfortable homes, but they evacuated to the shelters. Do you think that they want to be in a shelter forever? Come on, use your common sense. They just want the place cleaned up properly. And they are not sure that they are safe because the big man is saying some things and then the scientist is saying something else. They often say that no one has died from the volcanic eruption. But several persons has died while living in shelters. There are two persons that I know of with kidney problems that have passed on, and they used to go to the modern medical clinic, and that clinic was closed because it was in the red zone. Let me show you why donkey say the wall is not level. When they and their families get sick, they fly out. But you as Vincent who has no monies, you have to stay here and accept the treatment that they give you. The nurses in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are doing a great job, but the resources that they really need to carry out certain tasks aren't provided. Though you remember in a previous episode where I did that documentary with a guy called Gleason, in which he was involved in a pow-pow with some police, and he ended up and go to Dovecat, and one of the police went to Dovecat as well. There was an article published on a news site saying Gleason's father said that his son is not responsible for taking out that officer. That incident was recorded on camera by the man Gleason himself. So you know, the country is under extreme poverty. So we are asking the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, just let the man's father see the video, make sure everything is right as you say. And you see, this is why crimes go unsolved in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Too many cover-ups. Just show them on the video. Let me show you why St. Vincent is not normal at all. You know, one of those same guys calling out the dance halls on social media and the bars, saying that they are practicing a mass gathering, was one of the same guys campaigning for his party. Why, when he was at the rallies, he wasn't saying anything about social distancing? You see, when it is beneficial to them, they don't talk about the issues. They are boots lickers. So once they lick the boots and they get their monies in their pocket, after that they don't care about anyone else. So I'm asking a question. Were any of those rallies responsible for any community spread? And as I told you before on previous occasions, this is why I don't pick sides. I'm not on the red side and I'm not on the yellow side. Because both of them were having the rallies, and now both of them are coming and saying, practice social distancing. Do this, do that. Why wasn't you doing it? So there was a VPL tournament, a little cricket game, and there was some mass gathering because they closed up some of the stands, and they said that they only put them in 2 stands. I was not there, but we saw the videos and the pictures from persons on social media. So guess what they said? That it was weak policing, that the police should have been the one to control the mass gathering and set orders. So how come when you guys were having your rallies, you wasn't saying weak policing? Let me explain something to the persons on the countryside. Remember, we are all over the place. So let me tell you something. You see on the leeward side, the volcano looks completely different. It looks as though it is going to erupt again. We are hoping that it doesn't erupt again, because we see how things went, especially with the Nemo, especially with the private shelters. Persons cheating others as if they do not exist. You want to know if Untold Stories is speaking the truth? Catch a boat from Barley and go around to the Richmond side and look at the volcano. It is steaming, white on top. Around to the Richmond side is probably the closest view that you can get with the volcano. There are activities still going on at the La Soufrière volcano, which means that it is still active. The hurricane season has started, and you have seen the lahars from before, so it might even be worse coming on now. If you live in places where the lahars damage, I am begging you, please sleep with one eye open, because look at the damage those lahars did, much less to now. Do you remember when we did that video in Chateaubriand, when a member of our team asked Carlos where he hid when the volcano began to erupt, and he said in a drum, but he said in a zimbo. That's what they call drum in Chateaubriand. What about if the Lahars come and take those drums away? Carlos might would have rolled away. Please take the advice of Dr. Stinton right now. The weather conditions doesn't look so good, so they might have poor visibility up at the volcano. So Dr. Stinton has said that he needs to put some equipments at the summit. So apparently someone is going above their levels. Because remember, we can see the ads running through overseas VPNs. Remember, you are dealing with a specialist, a technology expert. So they need to try hard. Don't worry. We will find out who the company is. Then we'll tell you. You see, when you are speaking out the truth, they tend to go to their loopholes and their connections to try and block others. There are persons in the Georgetown area doing cleaning, and there are some that have moved back home, and the hospital is not open as yet. Any of these persons get damaged and doesn't make it to the Kingston Hospital on time, somebody has to accept responsibility. Well, you heard the warnings. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the regional islands, and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us. We thank you.